Hey, welcome to another episode of Disney Does, a movie review episode this time around. I know it's been a while. This is DisneyDwayne, and we kind of skipped over Spider-Man Homecoming. That's because I was busy filming Disney Paris videos, which you can check out. Links are in the video description below. Also because it kind of falls between Sony and Marvel in my head, so wasn't sure I was going to do one, but in any case, really quickly, I thought it was refreshing, a good revamp, and it definitely was not an origin story, which has been done to death, so much appreciated. But right now, let's talk about Thor Ragnarok, which is the third of 3 Thor movies that have been out, part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I just caught it. What did I think? Well, I think consistency-wise, a big question mark, because the flavor is different. They have very much followed the style, in my opinion, of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I feel should be its own thing. So what I mean is the fight sequences, for example, use a soundtrack of, sort of cover songs, and also the humor is that kind of awkward, sort of humor that a lot of movies are following these days. Like Spider-Man's doing it, Deadpool's doing it. I just feel it's just getting a little bit too common, especially if you're in the middle of a series. You shouldn't change the consistency and the flavor of a particular series. The plot to me was also a little bit thin. There's a whole segment where Thor felt like he was on a separate adventure, being trapped on the planet Sakaar. Although it was fun, the humor is great, it's really funny. I laughed a lot, I'm not gonna deny that, but the whole part where he's fighting the Hulk and everything just detracted from the already thin plot line. Lots of cameos, the Hulk, Doctor Strange. I feel it kind of detracts from the actual universe that we're in, even though they're all connected. It's a gimmick, and I very much prefer that there wasn't that, because then you start to look at the timeline as a whole, and for me that confuses me even more, because it feels like I have to keep track of what's happening outside of the movie, and also it makes me question what I don't know. It creates questions and gaps, like where had the Hulk been? When did I last see him? How did he end up here with Thor? Things like that. Cast-wise, I thought the girl who played Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson, maybe not so much the actress, I don't know, but the kind of attitude she was displaying. I mean, she's a victim from a particular war that happened where her entire race almost was like wiped out, and so she has a chip on her shoulder. But just that attitude, I don't really like how in the media they're portraying this badass attitude as cool. It's cool to treat people like that. It's just rude to me, and there should be consequences. The fact that she ends up teaming up with Thor, and it just doesn't make sense. It's just not cool to treat people like that. If you have gone through a tragedy, you should be better equipped to treat people more nicely. I mean, don't take your pain out on other people, basically. I mean, there must be consequences for disrespecting people. Otherwise, it becomes toxic, when people accept it. Also, she kind of sachets into battle. It just doesn't give that serious tone. It's just, again, another way of just being too cool, which is just not cool to me. And I don't believe her. Cate Blanchett, on the other hand, as a villain, she did sachet that one time, but she's Cate Blanchett, so she can sachet as much as she wants. And in any case, she has a lot more gravitas to her. She's oozing with contempt with every line, and although that's it, though, that's kind of two-dimensional. A lot of the characters are, because the plot's so thin. I felt like the movie was less about the characters and more about this and that happening, and so it became busy only because it just wanted to be busy. So to me, that doesn't have heart. Also, it's not logical that Thor is able to defeat the fire demigod. His name is Surtur, I think, and at the start of the movie, whereas at the end of the movie he isn't able to defeat his sister. So only when the demigod is unleashed again can the sister be defeated. That just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if the demigod was less powerful than Thor, then he should be able to defeat his sister. I mean, a lot of the kind of nuances weren't explored. Like, why did he defeat the demigod? Maybe if they explained why or how or why the sister is so powerful, that would have been more interesting. Also, I felt like it was kind of very two-dimensional how Cate Blanchett's character, Helen or Hela, wanted to wanted Asgard, the planet, his home planet, so much that she would so foolishly just die with the demigod and get killed. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. She seems a lot smarter than that. It's thin, it's just weak. Overall, I would give this movie 5.75 out of 10, I think. For a Disney movie, it should do better. And I've seen them do better for Marvel movies too, so that's my verdict. Also catch my review of Goodbye Christopher Robin, which was not a Disney movie, but I felt compelled to review because it really had properties of a good Disney movie. So I think you can tell what this review will be about and what it's going to be like. In any case, see you in the next episode. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. Bye!